Hello there everybody, Sabata92 aka Nightmare, and welcome back to Irae Amantes Amentes. In the fucking last episode, we witnessed Rusalka, having a little bit of fun with some Iron Maidens and the students. That was a thing. And now Kasumi has been brought into the fold, and Sakurai has kind of went along with the whole dating thing. Yeah, that's, jeez. And it seems like Ren kind of admitted that he likes Kasumi, finally. Is this part of my voice utterly annoying yet? Because I'm pretty sure it is. It's starting to annoy me, honestly. Ugh. But other than that, damn it, Sakurai, you just had to knock me out whenever we were trying to help you out, but no, of course not. Whatever. Also, god damn it, Honjo. By the time Kay left the club, it was already past midnight. Rusalka's promise to wait until Monday had long since passed. It might have already been too late, but she no longer had any intention of keeping it. She would not hand the school's swastika over to her. Impatience had thrown her thoughts into complete disorder. Regardless of her desire not to hand over her territory to another, she felt an irresistible compulsion to head towards the school. She couldn't understand what that mysterious feeling was. Yeah, probably. Her own words made her wince. It was both exasperating and admirable how he kept worrying about so many people. She still couldn't believe he had fallen for her little trick so easily. She was aware of his dislike for her, and the feeling was certainly mutual, but in that case, why couldn't she just leave him be? Had he been simply a naive fool, that could be another matter, but from what she had seen so far, he appeared neither dim-witted nor insensitive to danger. Quite the contrary, in fact. Despite his apparent stupidity, she still couldn't get a good read on him. Well, at any rate, he didn't matter at the moment. She had to hurry to the school as soon as possible. Yeah, you're, kind of late to that. The place was hers to claim. She wouldn't hand it over to anyone, nor would she allow it to be destroyed. It might have been preferable and more convenient for the school to have actually been closed. In that case, ordinary students wouldn't come, meaning they could avoid unnecessary deaths, which would allow Ren to fight with no reservations. Kay clicked her tongue, not knowing why her thoughts had gone down that path. Just then...
Sakurai-san!
Kasumi! Kay found herself taken aback for a second, confused by the other girl's presence. Well, to be fair, she's not lying.
そうなんだ。じゃあどうしようかな。実は私、明日っていうか今日だけど、学校に行こうと思うんだよね。
Why? It made no sense. She was supposed to be under the impression that the place was closed. Huh? Actually, why was she also drawn to the school?
それがね、なんだか行かなきゃいけないような気がしてさ。よくわからないけど、どうしよっかなって思ってたら、メールがじゃんじゃか入ってきたのよ。ほら、見る？すごいでしょ。
Uh-oh. There were easily over 30 texts displayed on Kasumi's phone. They were probably all from Kasumi's friends, yet despite each message being sent from a different person, they all contained the exact same text. I'm going to school tomorrow. See you there, Kasumi. Oh.
もしかして一日で休校解除になっちゃったのかな。
It's clearly a trap.
ねえ、どう思う？桜井さん。
The school's closure was a lie. It wouldn't have been surprising for her friends to tell her the truth. Nonetheless, something about the whole thing felt off.
Pied Piper.
The Pied Piper.
ハーメルンの笛吹きって知ってる？
うん、それって童話だよね。どんな内容なのかは知らないけど。それがどうかしたの？
If I can be perfectly honest, I only know the name Pied Piper. I'm not entirely sure how the whole tale went, so...
いや
Ah, damn it, I was hoping... Indeed, the title was famous, but surprisingly few knew the actual story. Oh god, that made me feel less stupid, thank you. It was the tale of mice and children in a city who were all lured by the sound of a devilish flute, only to be whisked away. Ah. Whether they were conscious of it or not, no one could oppose its melody. And there was an even lesser known Slavic tale with a similar premise. About a demonic incarnation of death that used its enchanted song to lure unsuspecting travelers to a watery grave. The witch, known as Rusalka. They were already under her spell. Didn't matter whether school was closed or not. Those who had come into contact with her even once were being drawn to her by an irresistible force, only to be imprisoned. All were drowned to the witch's hunting grounds, to the bottom of a cold, dark lake. Indeed, the Walpurgisnacht had already begun. Its sacrifices summoned in droves. Did I pronounce that right? I hope I did. However...
綾瀬さん
何？
At the very least, there was still a chance to bring her to her senses. There was nothing stopping her from releasing one out of hundreds, and that wouldn't cause the stigmata implanted in Kei's body to react. And so, the fate of the girl before her was now in Kei's hands. A single word from her could decide between life and death for Kasumi.
ねえ、どうしたの？難しい顔して。あ、やっぱり桜井さんってば怒ってる？私があんまりしつこく疑うから気分悪くしちゃったのかな。いや、本当にごめんね。レンの彼女だからとかそんなの関係なしにしても、私桜井さんと仲良くなりたいし。だから嫌われると痛いなっていうかへこむなっていうかその許してねえごめんってば
That expression.
平気よ
本当？
ええ別に気にしてないわ
Indeed, Kei wasn't really bothered. It didn't matter what happened to this girl or how Fuji felt about the whole thing. People had their priorities. Sentimental notions of being able to save everyone didn't apply in the real world. Kei knew that better than anyone, which was why
行
she...
きましょう綾瀬さん藤井君には私が後で連絡を入れるから
そうだったら女同士朝まで一緒に遊ぼうよカラオケでもゲーセンでも漫画喫茶でも私桜井さんといっぱい話したいし
As long as you keep her away from the school. She'd be lying if she said that invitation didn't give her reservations. However...
ええどこへだって付き合うわ
見てろよレンのやつ女の友情は彼氏情報が筒抜けになるって恐怖を教えてやるぜ
If you're just gonna keep her away from the school, I'll greatly appreciate that, thank you. Indeed. Fuji had no idea just how terrifying women could be. But come morning, he would receive a much-needed reminder. He would learn just how crafty, base, and ungrateful the girl he had been compelled to save by his foolish naivety was. I will admit, I like how it kind of keeps track of it like that. Swastika 4 out of 8. Chapter 8, Pied Piper, End. Stretching her arms, Kasumi let out a hearty yawn as she stood in front of the school gates the next morning.
やっぱ朝までカラオケオールは無茶だったかなさすがにちょっと喉が痛いやねえ桜井さんは大丈夫喉もそうだけど目がシパシパしない
Oh dear.
私は平気
Kay answered with a shrug. She certainly was a bit tense, but that had nothing to do with her physically.
見た目細いのにタフだよね。まあ私もこれくらいのだるさなら若さで乗り越えちゃうけどさ。昨べは楽しかったもんね。桜井さんはどんな歌を歌うのかなって思ってたけど、洋楽ばっかりで驚いちゃった。しかも発音超うまいし。
Huh.
ね、また行こうよ。
ええ。
Provided a time like that ever came again.
でもさ、なんであんなに英語ペラペラなの？
外国暮らしの方が長かったから。
じゃあ帰国子女なんだ。
そんなようなものね。
She had lived in Central and South America from before she had turned 10. Ever since then, she had also lived in North America, Europe, and Russia. Then after that, she spent almost 2 years in Tibet, China, and North Korea. Kasumi's eyes sparkled with admiration as she listened to Kei casually explain her past.
すごい。そんな映画みたいな暮らし、私もしてみたい。
そんなにいいものじゃないわよ。
She had received training from the Divine Vessel in Central America, support from Spine in South America when she became self-reliant, then from Wilhelm in North America, and from Rusalka in Eastern Europe. Oh. She made the acquaintance of her comrades all around the world, receiving help from them each. Money, power, bloodlust, and guile, witchcraft, martial arts, language, culture, history, religion, and philosophy. She was raised as a proper child of the Obsidian Round Table. It was not a life Kasumi would envy.
一体何カ国語話せるの
6か7だけど一箇所に落ち着かなかったから。
Holy
み
shit.
んな片言よ。
That's kinda crazy.
それでもすごいよ。
Kasumi, her eyes glistening with a mixture of surprise and respect, seized Kei's shoulders.
桜井さん。これからは K 様と呼ばせて。テスト前とか私に英語教えてください。レンが言うには私物覚え最悪だからカンニングしろってことなんだけど、そんなの嫌だし。
まあいいけど。
Thinking it a meaningless promise, Kei considered the building in front of them. She wondered what sort of demonic lair would be waiting for them inside. Nothing seemed odd about it from the outside, but she also knew that only the lousiest of magical barriers would ever betray their secrets at a glance. Without going inside, there was no way to tell what could be hiding in there.
行きましょうか。
Oh god. She then passed through the gates with Kasumi and entered the school building. Kei remained vigilant the whole time. It wasn't like she was breaching hostile territory, but entering someone's personal realm was no different from traversing the belly of a monstrous beast. Unless she kept her guard up, the atmosphere of the place alone could melt her away. Quite literally.
あれ、なんだろう。これってちょっと。
Oh dear. And so, this outcome was both incredibly abnormal, but at the same time quite expected. No one was there. Not even her companion who had been walking next to her until seconds ago.
綾瀬さん。
She had lost sight of her. Not even a single speck of her presence could be felt. Uh-oh. It wasn't like she had forgotten Kasumi's existence, but maybe she had been a little too on guard. The fact she couldn't even notice her disappearance meant that...
まさか。
Kei was no longer thinking about looking for Kasumi. She had no obligation to do so, and it would likely prove to be a fruitless endeavor anyway. The barrier enveloping the school at that moment wasn't merely erected to isolate the school from the outside world. It was a garden of predation, a killing field, another world altogether.
想像。
A creation figment? Is that like a... Wait, the third degree of Iwikite, and it was devouring the school. Oh, but who did it belong to? It was a skill that could very well be labeled a trump card, a weapon that very few would even reveal to their comrades. Those who had fought together in the war might have witnessed each other's, but a newcomer little like Kei had yet to see any. Logically, it would be natural to assume it was Rusalka's, but that didn't feel right. Oh dear. She felt as if she was slowly being boiled alive, her strength gradually waning with each passing second. She didn't expect to suddenly stumble into a creation figment. It was almost as if this was a trap meant to kill her.
遅い朝帰りね、レオン。
Oh crap.
やっほー、元気？
マレウス。
A surge of confusion shot through Kay's senses as she turned back to see a red-haired girl standing behind her, but she didn't forget to remain ever vigilant. What was the meaning of this? Did she lure her here to fight and kill her? Rusalka laughed when she saw Kay trembling with doubt and fury.
落ち着きなさいよ。ここであまり気合い入れると一瞬で吸い殺されちゃうわよ、あなた。
Where's Kasumi?
吸い殺す。
そう。
Rusalka heaved a tired sigh and glanced outside the window, where a dramatic change had occurred. Whoa. The sun had grown dark and dusky. It was 8 o'clock in the morning, yet the blue sky suddenly gave way for the orange of early evening.
私も迷惑してるのよ。あいつの想像、敵味方関係なしだし。
You mean either Wilhelm or Kane?
お前じゃない。
そうよ。見ればわかるでしょ。
Oh shit! The sun set and vanished in a second, turning the world into a realm of eternal night in the blink of an eye. A silvery full moon with no regard for the lunar calendar covered the sky with the putrid stench of rot and blood lingering everywhere. Okay, that's clearly Wilhelm, isn't it? Kay spotted black, jelly-looking lumps, likely the remnants of congealed blood and rotten flesh, slithering across the floor and walls of the building. It was like the nauseating world of a Night Stalker. In that instant, Kay realized the identity of its master. Wilhelm Ehrenberg. This world belonged to him. But then why?
待ちなさい。
Rusalka stood still and raised her hand as if commanding Kay to stop before she broke off into a run.
言ったでしょ。ここで野蛮なことを考えちゃダメ。心拍数と血の流れを調節してアドレナリンを抑えなさい。あいつに言わせればせいぜいまずそうな女になるのよ。ここでベイをそそっちゃうと一瞬で食われるわ。
A perplexing remark, but at the very least it didn't seem like Rusalka meant Kay any harm. Why else would she be telling her how to protect herself?
お前はここをベイに譲ったのか。
そういうわけでもないけど、
Rusalka ran her fingers through her hair in a display of irritation.
私は私で手一杯なの。慣れないことはするもんじゃないわね。
Hmm? Following Rusalka's gaze, Kay froze in place. Oh. Kane.
いくら私があなたたちよりキャリアが深いって言ってもね、他人の生物なんてそうそう簡単に扱えないのに。だから自己流でちょっと改造しちゃったけど。
Kay was no longer listening to Rusalka. Her thoughts had come to a complete halt. A giant abomination towered in the yard outside. Impassive like a sculpture, countless shadows bound his arms and legs, connecting back all the way to Rusalka.
まあ操縦はこんな感じ。私じゃバビロンのやってたことの2割もできないから、足りないところは創意工夫でね。
Huh. So you can... Okay, so you can barely control him because you don't seem to... Okay, I get it.
でもその代わりメリットだってあるんだよ。この方法なら遠隔操作も可能だし、隙だらけな姿を敵にさらすこともない。
バビロン。
Right. What about her? Kay came back to her sense. Oh, that's right, she doesn't even know! Why was Kane suddenly in Rusalka's hands? Where did his actual master, Lisa Brenner, disappear to?
あれ？気づいてなかったの？
He did! Wait, what? She opened her eyes in surprise for a slight moment, but then suddenly twisted her features into a malicious smile.
彼女死んじゃったよ。
No. Impossible! She could feel her surroundings suddenly grow dim. Lisa passed away? Lisa was dead? Then what of him? What would happen to him? With their necromancer gone from their ranks, Kane was now little more than another dead body. He would rot, fall apart, and disappear. It was unlikely he could hold out for more than a couple of days. Another couple days.
クリストフは転んでもただじゃ起きないっていうか、本当に転んだのかどうかもわかんないけど、要は有効利用したいんでしょ。どうせ近々消えると言っても、それまで遊ばせとくのは惜しいからね、あの化け物ちゃん。
Now, here's the real question. Are we going to get any from... Is she going to tell Kay that, you know, supposedly Ren killed Lisa? She could probably read Kay like an open book from her expression, and so she addressed her in a lightly mocking tone.
言ったように、私は私で忙しいし、あなたも来てくれたから仕事をあげる。
仕事。
What kind of job? Bewilderment still running amok in her mind, Kay was unable to comprehend Rusalka's words right away, to which the redheads replied with a grimace and a tired sigh.
この子がさ、なんか知んないけど来ちゃったみたいで。
Hiruma. Rei Himuro. Why would she be in a place like this?
冗談じゃない。
All the anger and confusion Kay had been suppressing up until now came bursting to the surface.
あなた何を考えてるの？今ここがどうなっているか。
Did that fool have a death wish? What did she think would happen if she died here?
あるいは自殺しに来たのかもね。
So she does... I'm guessing she does know what's going on?
マレウス！
She couldn't help raising her voice at the witch's carefree tone. Rusalka, however, simply waved her away.
まあいいじゃない。面白いわよ。死のうと思って簡単に死ねるほど世の中甘くできてないし、メルクリウスがどれだけ性格悪いやつか、あなたもこの子も分かってないのよ。ハイドリ秘境も含めて、あの二人が死なないって言えば、それは死ねないってのと同じ意味。なんだったらそこから外に放り投げてみれば、多分大丈夫よ。
Oh yeah, that's right. They seem to have foreknowledge, of course. Well, actually, specifically Mercurius.
とは言っても、実際面倒なお荷物ではあるわけで。
Rusalka turned around, leaving Rei behind.
レオン、あなたはお姫様のお守りをしなさい。拒否なんか認めないわよ。まったく、クリストフの監視もザルっていうか、何考えてんだか。もしかしてあいつ、わざとその子を行かせたのかもしれないわね。
わざと。
What was that supposed to mean? Rusalka gave Kay a mocking grin.
勘よ勘。長く生きるとね、世の中疑い深くなっちゃうのよ。けどまあ、ともかくどうであってもその子はあなたが責任持って管理するのよ。返事は
Damn it.
レオン、地産は一昔前じゃ処刑者の失態だって分かってるの？目をつむってあげるんだから、反抗的な態度を取らないでよ、お嬢ちゃん。
But you are the bad guy, though.
わかった。
You know, the funny thing is, I make these jokes, but if I was actually in these, I'd probably be dead by chapter 1. Actually, no, probably on the first page, I'd be dead. Just because I'm too much of a smartass sometimes.
よろしい。じゃあ若者同士、隅の方で仲良く青春の悩みでも語ってなさいな。私とベイはここでレン君と遊ぶから。来るんでしょ、彼。
おそらく。
オッケー。じゃあ状況開始。
Where is Kasumi? She better not be dead. Rusalka disappeared into the darkness with a laugh on her lips. Kay, glancing at the burden to her left, let out a sigh.
何か言いなさいよ。
別に。ただあなた、似合わないわね、こういうの。
So Himuro pretty much knows about the obsidian round table. A sudden impulse knocked the daylights out of the other girl and took a hold of Kay, but she managed to contain herself at the last second. She missed her chance to ask what became of Kasumi, but now that she thought about it, that was none of her business, really. Indeed, her fate was redundant. It had nothing to do with Kay. She'd already be dead for all she cared. Yet despite her resolve, an inexplicable sense of anxiety washed over every pore of her body, almost as if trying to tell her that she had done something irrevocable. This, in turn, frustrated her even further.
藤井君とは会えるかな。
会ってどうするの？
そう。でも久しぶりだから。
Well, to be fair, we kinda did leave off on not so good terms.
久しぶりね。
It had only been 3 days since they last saw each other. What was she even talking about?
今日を逃すともう会えないような気がしたから。会えるといいな。でも怖いな。どんな顔をすればいいのかわかんない。
Well, he still considers you a friend, so I think everything will be fine.
あなたはどう？
別に。
All she could think of was slapping that infuriating fool in the face if she happened to see him here again.
嘘ばっかり。
Oh, she pulled out the Yusoda. You can't argue against that. She wasn't lying. Well, one could say she wished to meet him in a way, just in a completely different sense from the girl. As such, she wasn't scared at all.
めんどくさい子だね、あなた。
Maybe. Ray's tone of pity almost made Kay snap, but she held it back, clicked her tongue, and said nothing. Geez, that's some pure hostility there. Oh. Chapter 9. Mass Murderer. I wonder what this is gonna be about. It took until morning for me to regain consciousness.
まあよ、そういつまでも自己嫌悪してないで。ヒーローが色仕掛けに弱いのはお約束じゃねえの。
Wait a minute, you're coming with me? Actually, you know what? I wouldn't mind. You're a very tough cookie, so I'll need all the help I can get. Ever since we left the club to investigate the school premises, Shiro had been unable to shut his mouth about this.
だから色仕掛けなんか食らってないって言ってるだろ
う。じゃあ何食らったわけ？
それは
言えないような手なら色仕掛けみたいなもんだろ。
He let out a cackle and patted me on the shoulder. Well, I guess he was right in a sense. I wouldn't exactly call that seduction, but the logic was the same. God, I wish you would stop talking about it already.
そんで？あのバカメスどもはここに行ったんか？
I don't know, those dumb bitches might be here, possibly.
多分な。
We stood in front of the gates of Tsukinasawa High. Holy shit, I actually said that without messing up. I couldn't think of any other places where Kasumi and Sakurai could have chosen to go together. I can't believe she kidnapped Kasumi, of all people. My chest was awhirl with a tempest of anger, frustration, and guilt, but now was not the time to wallow in emotions. If Kasumi was here, all I had to concentrate on was saving her and taking any enemies out that might stand in my way. Beyond these gates, I would likely be met with a full-blown battlefield.
Okay, じゃあ行こうか。
Sounds like a game plan to me, Shiro. Also, how are you gonna fight? Gonna use your gun as usual? As the two came back in the morning and learned of the situation, they actually used rock, paper, scissors to decide who was accompanying me on the search for Kasumi. Apparently, they had some pressing business to take care of that required at least one of them. And so, Shiro won and tagged along with me. I'd say he was the better option, but that'd be a lie. They're both the same, really.
あ？どうした？何見てんだよ。
Nothing. It was just, well, why was he wearing that?
制服もう持ってないのか？
いや、あるにはあるけど。
Just don't want to wear it?
じゃあそんなステージ衣装みたいな格好してんなよ。目立ちすぎだろ。
I mean, it's not a bad outfit.
これは俺のユニフォームなんだよ。かっけえだろ。
Wait, are you telling me that used to be your uniform and then you just modified it?
かっけえっつうか。ああ、もういい。
Oh, come on, man. You gotta admit, it actually looks pretty cool. This conversation was giving me a headache, so I looked away from Shiro. It was hard to tell if he was just full of spite or just relied on his carefree attitude to dispel the tension, but no amount of playfulness would help us past this point.
お前、本当にいいんだな。
しつけえな。今さらなんだよ。芋なんか引かねえって。
そうかよ。
Well, okay. If that was what he wanted, then so be it. I just had one pair of arms right here. My job was to fight. Only I could take Sakurai or Rusalka on, so there was only one thing Shiro could do.
霞の救出はお前がやれよ。
わかってるって。余計な邪魔が入ってなきゃそうしてやるよ。
Okay, can I trust you to save Kasumi? That's the real question, though. I really wish that was the case. We'd have a pretty bad problem if it wasn't. Well, I mean, for God's sake, we got Sakurai, we have freaking Rusalka, and supposedly, we've also got Wilhelm to worry about. That is basically the triple threat right there. I took a deep breath.
行くぞ。
It's 3 against 2. Well, technically 3 against 1.5. We then pass through the gates. At that moment... I didn't even know how to describe it. I felt as if we passed through a warm membrane of some sort. I felt my body instantly grow heavier and had trouble breathing. What the hell was going on in here? I shook my head, hoping to rid myself of this sudden wave of lightheadedness as Shiro addressed me from behind.
Oi, Ren. Are miro yo.
I turned around to see... Oh boy. The giant disc of a full moon hanging in the sky. It's ominous. Ominous! Its ominous, reddish light pierced through my skin like needles. I shuddered from the cold, feeling inexplicable exhaustion take a hold of my body. More importantly, Shiro dangled his left wrist in front of my eyes. The watch on it said 8:30 a.m.
今日は満月の日じゃねえんだけどな。ここは夜で月が丸い。多分何時でも。
We have suddenly got inside a reality marble.
待てよ。
Shiro grasped my hand as I tried to take a step back outside through the gates.
やめとけ。わかんないけど、出て戻れなかったらどうすんだよ。
Yeah, he was right. No matter how you looked at it, there was something wrong with this place. It probably wouldn't let me leave, and even if it did, not being able to come back in would be even worse.
外側からじゃ何も変わってなかったのにな。
So basically, our best bet would probably be to make them escape or kill Wilhelm outright. The world changed the moment we took a step through the gates. A dark night enveloped us in the middle of an early morning.
心当たりあるか？
None. I never knew it was even possible to cause something like this. If I had to liken it to something, then it seemed kind of equivalent to the beach that Marie dwelled in suddenly manifesting in the real world. How could one even do such a thing? Nothing made sense to me in here.
悪い。役立たずだ。
そうか。けどまあ、悲観すんな。
Shiro gave me a smile as he patted me on the back. I couldn't see the usual carefreeness in that curl of the lips, but just managing to force a confident face in a place like this was already quite an achievement as far as I was concerned. He had balls, that was for sure.
お前は平気か？
Damn right he does!
ああ。俺は大丈夫。
This inexplicable exhaustion was a bit of a problem, though. I had no idea what was going on, but I felt dizzy and short of breath, as if I'd suddenly been brought to the summit of a large mountain or something. Both my hands and feet had grown numb. I wasn't even sure if I could form a proper fist.
とりあえずだな。あまり息すんな。あと切れるな。心拍数も上げるな。
むちゃくちゃ言うな、お前。
無茶なとこ来たんだから、無茶しねえとダメだろうがよ。
Make the impossible possible.
まあ、そりゃあな。
I obeyed his calm voice. I didn't know if his suggestions would be of any use, but it at least made me calm down a little. They said that a positive attitude was the best medicine after all. I thought laughter was the best medicine. I've been lied to!
行くぞ。
おうよ。
Damn right. And so we stepped into the shroud of darkness waiting for us beyond the door. I was prepared for battle. I couldn't say I got used to either killing others or risking my own life, but I could at least face it as an inescapable fact. Still, the situation seemed far worse than I had ever imagined. I had a very bad feeling about this. Asumi. I felt as if there was more dread and despair waiting for me beyond those doors than anything I had lived through till this point. Oh, probably. No doubt on that.
さて、こりゃどこ行っても同じだな、おい。
We explored the school, thoroughly investigating each room from the first floor to the fourth. The place remained shrouded in darkness, without a single ray of light finding its way inside. I felt just as exhausted as before, with my strength slowly sleeping out of my body, as if being siphoned out by some invisible power. Still, there was one thing we luckily managed to discover.
とりあえずさっきのは礼言っとく。
ああ、俺のここはちょっといろいろあれだからな。
He pointed at his nose and made Irae smile. If he hadn't told me to breathe through my mouth, I might have already been done for by this point. The black, jelly-like things slithering around were remnants of blood and flesh that seemed to have been rotting here for hundreds of years. Even though I'd begun breathing through my mouth, their disgusting smell was turning my brain to mush. I probably would have gone insane the moment I took a lungful of this rotten air through my nose.
こりゃあれか。ブラムストーカーのあれっぽいよな。わかるだろ
You mean Dracula? Shiro didn't exactly spell it out, but he already had an idea about who was responsible for this. And so did I, for that matter. Any fool would realize the nature of this place upon setting foot inside. The school had transformed into a vicious hunting ground for a beast ruled by an aggressive, insatiable, racist lust for flesh. A demonic paradise of blood. Its only spectator, the full moon, perched in its skies of eternal darkness. And who else would lord over a realm like this than a vampire? In other words...
ビルヘルム。
Yep. He was here. So this time I had to be wary of not only Sakura and Rusalka, but him as well. I almost called it Sakura and Rusalka. God damn it. Wait, I actually did say that. Fuck! Sakurai and Rusalka, but him as well. In fact, I had the feeling he was the most dangerous of them all. Oh yeah. Oh, fuck. He's a brute.
参ったな。あの野郎。俺に目つけてやがんのかも。
Yeah, he kinda does, doesn't he? He ruffled his hair.
前にちょっとおちょくったからな。いきなりマジかよ。そうなるとさすがに俺もきっついわ。あいつはこう適度に舐めててくれた方がやりやすいんだよ。わかるだろ？
ああ。
I too had nearly been killed by Wilhelm before. Prior experience had taught me that we couldn't let him get serious. That psycho was an amalgamation of malice and raw bloodlust. Meeting him in battle meant a fight to the death with no alternatives. As such, the best way to take him on was to go at him with all you had when he was still holding back. Otherwise, he would simply crush us like flies through overwhelming superiority.
こりゃバカすみ早いとこ引っさらって逃げた方がいいんじゃね？あの女の話じゃ戦場にならないとダメなんだろ？
Seems so.
そうだが。
However, there was one thing I couldn't get out of my mind.
本当にここには俺たちしかいないと思うか？
ん？
そうあってほしいとは思うし、そうでなきゃ最悪だけど、最近は楽観主義ができなくなってな。
Their main objective might indeed have been to lure and fight us here. But what if we decided to ignore them? Would they just sit here for days waiting for us? I couldn't imagine them being so ludicrous.
俺が来ても来なくても、どうなろうと対処できるようにするのが普通だろう。ビルヘルムはそんなこと考えなくても、ルサル。
I couldn't imagine such a detail escaping that slide. Oh my god. I couldn't imagine such a detail escaping that sly bitch. If this place didn't become a battlefield, she'd just turn it into execution grounds.
なるほどね。でもざっと回ってみた結果、一っ子一人いなかったぜ。
I will say, I do like sometimes just the blunt matter-of-factness of these characters' minds sometimes. It's kind of refreshing.
ここが普通の場所に見えるか？
いや全然。もしかしたら忍者屋敷並みの仕掛けが働くかもしんねえし。
That's the possibility. That or maybe they're hiding in the bathrooms.
例えば壁の中、天井裏とか地面の下とか、侵入者を飲み込むことができるんだったら。
それとも目に映る景色を実際とは違うように歪めて見せることができるとしたら。
In that case, they might as well have been hiding the 500 students of the school somewhere out of sight.
けど、確かめる方法はない。
答えがわからないなら、用だけ済ませて逃げるわけにもいかない。
Yeah.
おお、そりゃ参ったね。
いきなり攻撃してくる気配もないしな。
Though it also made me curious why Wilhelm would let us run free inside a place that might as well have been his belly. Was he waiting for something? If so, what? Maybe an order or something? Was it a trap or a gunshot to signal the start of a battle?
こっちから探ったりはできねえの？
さっきからやろうとはしてるんだけどな。
Sensing another's killing intent or the impending storm after the calm was far beyond my capabilities, if that was what he wanted to know. My senses might have grown keener, but I was still no match for war-trained soldiers, one of whom I was trying to find now. However, giving up was not an option.
少し真剣にやってみる。しばらく話しかけないでくれ。
了解。じゃあ、俺は俺で試してみるか。
I didn't know what he was up to, but Shiro began straining his ears. Then again, I supposed it wouldn't hurt. He did have animal-like senses after all.
先に見つけた方が飯おごりだからな。
I gave him an ironic smile before closing my eyes to focus my senses. Sounds like a good bet. All animals had a sense of territory, and humans were no exception. Anyone would feel uncomfortable if someone they didn't like invaded their personal space. Just like how people would prefer to sit a few seats apart in a cafeteria, or how they chose the urinals furthest away from those occupied. They would always unconsciously try to maintain distance from their kin whenever they could. And apparently it was young men who needed the most personal space. Then what about me? What constituted my usual territory? I couldn't tell if it was a good or a bad thing, but I felt quite certain of the fact that I needed more personal space than most. I mean, Kasumi had already called me asocial, but I barely had any friends, and no wonder I disliked anyone being so close to me. Huh. As I closed my eyes, I could feel it with my skin. Shiro standing next to me, not even a meter apart. I could sense his breathing, heartbeat, and mental state. I widened the radius further. 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters, 5 meters. My territory extended like a sphere, both to the left and right, up and down. I created my own pocket world inside Wilhelm's realm. His will, of course, resisted my intrusion, and my realm extended at a snail's pace at best, but I could still feel the area of my perception widen. And so?
おっと
Shiro locked eyes with me once I jerked my head up.
下の階だな。話し声がした。
You kidding me? What was he, a bat? I was a little surprised how genuinely sharp his senses were, but either way, I sensed the exact same thing. And what was more...
先輩。
ん？
氷室先輩がいる。
マジで？
気のせいじゃない。
She was on the 3rd floor, right below us. We must have checked that room just a couple of minutes ago and found it empty, yet I could sense her quite clearly over there right now. There was just no way I could mistake Rei Himuro for someone else. She was one of the very few people I cared about, just as much as Kasumi, if not even more.
一人？
わからない。
I spotted her only because she was a regular person. I extended my senses, which weren't even that keen to begin with, to a wide area, so I doubted I could detect any of those warmongers unless they themselves wished to be found.
けど無事ではいる。と思う。
She seemed calm and self-possessed, her head half in the clouds, as usual. In any case, it didn't feel like she was either fleeing from someone or being confined. As such, there was only one thing to do.
行くぞシロ。あの人を確保する。
Why was she here? How was she related to those maniacs? This wasn't exactly the best time for long-winded discussions, but I also couldn't just abandon her.
俺らを釣る餌ってことはないんかよ。
Shit, that is a possibility. Yeah, I could guess that much myself. That possibility was high, and us getting into a heap of trouble even higher. Nonetheless,
俺は行くぞ。誰が何て言っても。
へいへい。俺も行ってみただけだよ。
we gave each other a nod and dashed through the corridor. I jumped down the stairs to the 3rd floor in a single leap.
で、どこよ？
I raised my hand and pointed at one of the rooms in silence.
4組。
俺らのクラスだ。
Huh. Fitting. as well as Sakura and Rusalka's.
いやー、思い返すと濃いメンツだったよな。
He really should have minded his own business, but I couldn't deny it. The school was the closest place I had to a normal life, and also the first of my safe havens to be destroyed. Just a group of 40 or so students laughing and getting angry at each other, studying and falling in love, chatting and playing around. The kind of peaceful, boring daily life you could come across practically everywhere. I'd hope I could live out the rest of my life surrounded by that mundane bliss. Yet it was abruptly and cruelly taken from me. The door opened with a repulsive creak, revealing a certain girl.
藤井君
Irae Himuro, once our senior in school, and now a tiny ticking bomb, whose position in all this I still couldn't quite discern. Depending on her answers, I might end up having to fight her as well. My thoughts gave way for sheer anxiety as I saw her, prompting me to let my guard down. Oh! Sakurai. Also, she's in her school uniform. I would have been lying if I said, oh wait, never mind. Her being in her school form would make sense since she walked to school with Kasumi, so okay, that makes sense. I would have been lying if I said my thoughts didn't freeze when I saw her emerge from the classroom after Himuro. If she had attacked me right then, I would have been dead in an instant.
よー姉ちゃん、俺に何の断りもなく帰るなんてひどいじゃんよ。
Shiro took a step forward with a smile, as if trying to cover me while I was still dumbfounded. His voice betrayed no hint of surprise or anxiety. He likely expected there to be someone watching over Himuro.
俺はレンよりだいぶ薄情だからな。餌は食っても釣られねえぞ。で、お二人さんはここで何をしてるわけ？
ユサ君こそ何してるの？
俺はあんた見りゃわかるっしょ。修羅場にシャシャってくんのはいつものことじゃん？
Yeah, kind of. I've discovered.
それで
Shiro glanced at Sakurai again. It was at that point that I finally regained my composure.
悪いなシロ、もう大丈夫だ。
I took a step forward, allowing Shiro to step back instead. With Sakurai around, it was a bad idea to let him stand in the front unprotected.
先輩はまあ後で話そう。とりあえず無事そうで安心しました。
藤井君も
それで桜井。
The emotions I'd been suppressing up until now erupted all at once, filling my eyes with rage. Not even my consideration for Himuro could stop me from staring daggers at Sakurai. To tell the truth, my blood had been boiling since last night. I was frustrated with my own naivety, my own stupidity, as well as the woman who dared kidnap Kasumi from right under my nose.
あいつはどこだ桜井。答えないと。
Kill you right here and now. I might have grown to know her better during these past few days, but my anger at that moment far outweighed any sympathy I might have built for her. Hey, it's understandable, dude. I don't blame you. I ignored Himuro's bemused stare. Shiro must have said something as well, but I paid no attention to it. My gaze remained fixated on Sakurai and her alone. Depending on her answer, I could very well have attacked her right there and then. As such,
綾瀬さんなら知らない。
that anticlimactic answer of hers felt like a rush of cold water over me.
知らないだと。
ええ、聞かれても答えられない。
She didn't appear to be lying, which also meant that my worst fears had come to pass.
じゃあ今は他のやつのところかよ。
Honestly, if Kasumi were to be kidnapped by any of them, I wished it would have been Sakurai. At least she wasn't as dangerous as Wilhelm or Rusalka.
どうするよレン。お前はこいつを締め上げたいんだろうけど、そういう状況でもそれで肩がつくわけでもなさそうな感じだぞ。
Not really.
分かってる。
She was pissing me off to no end. But her main objective here wasn't to teach her a lesson, regardless of how much I would have liked that to be the case. Either way, taking care of her wasn't a priority at the moment. My first order of business was to save Kasumi. Also,
先輩、今のここに他のやつ。
それは
Her eyes widened as I seized her by the shoulders, pulling her close.
教えてくれ先輩。他の生徒はいるのかいないのか。
She looked away from me and fell silent, ignoring my question. That wasn't it. That was actually her way of answering it. I followed her gaze outside, where I could see one silhouette after another pop up in the yard. Faces both familiar and new, both guys and girls, everyone from my year.
おいおい。
Shiro was also taken aback. I couldn't blame him. It really was a bizarre sight. I could tell there were about 200 people in the yard by now. Some were dressed in uniforms, some in casual clothes, and some even in pajamas. All of them seemed completely out of it.
かすみは
I couldn't. I think I looked through everyone over there, and she didn't seem to be among them. With her there or not, this certainly didn't seem like a good sign.
見ろよ。あれ。
Shiro's voice rang uncharacteristically urgent. I followed his finger with my gaze to see a giant frame looming in the center of the yard, with students surrounding it. A genuine monster if I'd ever seen one.
カイン。
Double game. If that thing was here, did it mean Sister Lisa was also around?
ダメだ。もう遅い。
Shiro's voice trailed off. Sakurai looked away while Himuro simply shivered in my grasp. I merely gazed at the spectacle before me, but completely dumbfounded. There was simply nothing I could do from here. Kane swung the giant lump of metal in his hands. Much like in the club, it erupted in purple lightning, swallowing 100 or so students in the blink of an eye, leaving nothing but bloody smoke and burnt flesh in their place. Himuro wrapped her arms around my back and pressed against me to block my vision, as if thinking she could escape this nightmare by merely refusing to acknowledge its existence. It was too late. Her frame was much too small to cover my eyes. Some of the pieces of meat and entrails of what used to be my schoolmates were flung so hard they reached up to the 3rd floor, splattering against the window in front of us. Fuck, man! I could make out a severed hand and a piece of a leg stuck against the window frame. That red mush was probably the remains of someone's heart, and the thing that looked like a blown up balloon must have been a lung. I even spotted a jaw, an eyeball, torn off, scalp with hair still clinging to it, as well as half a face, all destroyed beyond recognition. They all gave me condemning looks.
Why didn't you come here earlier? I was a bastard like you in our school anyway. If you had never been around, we would have never ended up like this.
I could practically hear my mind crumble. My whole world was falling apart. My day-to-day life, a place for me to return to. Why did a depraved fool like me ever delude himself into thinking he could protect them? Sheer frustration made my tears flow, and I was unable to stop them. I'd barely even known the faces of those massacred students, and that weighed the heaviest upon my soul. It felt like an insult to their memory. I shoved Himuro aside and rammed my fist into the window glass, yet I lacked the strength to even shatter something as thin as that. The window remained intact, as if mocking me for being completely powerless, as if telling me I could never save anyone. That I was just another sacrifice brought here to rot and be turned into sludge. I let out a deafening scream from the very bottom of my heart, cursing the name of my mortal enemy. I'd make him pay. Kane too, and the priest and Rusalka, and then Sakurai, and that accursed Sister Lisa as well.
てめえら俺とやりたいなら勝ってやる。つまらねえ雑魚殺してエツに言ってんじゃねえぞ、腰抜け野郎。
There he is! The temperature around us suddenly shot 10 or so degrees down. A whole arrangement of scornful laughs, a snort, a chuckle, a guffaw, and a howl reverberated across the walls, merging into one continuous fit of maniacal laughter. and beneath it, the vilest, most genuine lust for another's blood.
じゃあ本番行こうか小僧せいぜい食い出のある生きのいい餌になれや
It was about to start. Wilhelm had yet to unveil the true face of his realm. Thus far, he had merely been playing around, but in this moment,
金落ちる恋人死骸を晒せ
there's gonna be a battle, and I don't have time to do it. You guys are probably going to hate me that I had to stop it here, but I just did not have the time. So, sorry guys! That's also a hell of a place to end it. Congratulations, you pissed off Ren to that, yeah, you brought Ren to that point. Good job, Nazis, great job. Now, as long as Ren does not allow himself to be completely overcome with anger, which I'm not entirely sure if that's going to work or not. Oh god. I mean, I have faith in you, Ren, I really do. But I'm not going to be able to find that out until next week. And you guys are free to hate me that I'm ending it here just to save. I'm just trying to measure my time properly. Okay, they've officially gotten to that point. They've officially gotten to the point where they have just... They even startled Shiro, of all people. They startled him. Congratulations. Oh boy. Ren, I am putting all of my hopes in that this time you will kill Wilhelm. I believe in you, damn it. Because honestly, I have a very intense desire to want to kill him too. So anyway, guys, I'm upset that I'm ending it here because I really want to keep going, but I just don't have the time. So thank you all so much for watching. I apologize once again, and I will see you guys... Oh god, I gotta wait a week. Fuck! Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Damn it! Hello there everybody, Sabato92 here, and if you like this video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. And hey, if you guys like my content, then maybe you'd like to check out another channel who I think deserves equal attention. So click that nightmare emblem and check out that channel, or go to the links in the description down below. Once again, thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next video.